Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am finally doing my third installment for my bridal look, so I figured we would jump right into it because I feel so bad that I haven't really got into it, and with it already being May, the wedding season is upon us, and so I figured I would hurry up and get another one of these out. Sorry for slacking, had a bunch of other stuff going on. Um, so we're just going to do a very classic look, kind of that sort of retro bride, because we've done one already where it's very, very naturalistic, and I really wanted to do one that would give that kind of flair to it. So retro wedding type of thing is very, very popular. So I figured I'd do one of those. It's gonna have like a classic red lip, just a wing eyeliner, very minimal in the eyes, and just kind of going from there. So let's get into it. Okay. So the first thing that's important is making sure that we are priming our face with a great moisturizer. I am going to use one that I just got out of my Birchbox. I think this is from Birchbox. It is the Double Rose Rejuvenating Face Cream by Organic Pharmacy. It's just a moisturizer. I have to do many, many things before I put makeup on because my skin is so dry. So for my dry ladies out there, just keep that in mind. And then when it comes to moisturizers and primers that you're using for the face, keep in mind that want to keep you want to use makeup that isn't going to have a lot of flashback because you're going to be taking photos. You want to look flawless on your day. It's a very, very hard toss up between keep protecting your face from the sun and, sorry, my hair. What is that? Okay. Protecting your face from the sun by using something that has SPF, but at the same time, you don't want all that flashback. So I was going to use the new, it is the, what is it? I keep calling it Safeguard. It's Tarte Guard. It's basically a sunscreen, but I haven't played around with it with flash photography, so I don't want to tell you guys to use something that may give you a lot of flashbacks. So I will just leave it at that for now. The next thing that we're going to go into is a primer. So to give that kind of glowy look from within, I'm going to go ahead and use the Magic Lumi from L'Oreal. I wish the lighting was better. Sorry, guys. Anyways, if I hold it back here, does it work? No. Whatever. You'll just have to believe me, okay? And then, of course, the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizers. And this is the hydrating base. Hold on. I'm going to do something. I want to see if this just like helps it so you guys can see better, but you guys can still see me. Yes? Oh, that's the back. Okay. Look at that! I can finally see things. We're gonna do it this way. You get a nice shot of my boobs, but hey, whatever. Okay, so a mixture of these two put together. This is just gonna make sure that my skin is still hydrated, plus give it that luminous finish. Okay, so now we're just going to kind of chill for a second and let that in. We'll start talking about what we're going to do. So we're going to be keeping, like I said, keeping the eyes very minimal. I'm going to be using some of these L'Oreal Tattoo 24-hour color tattoos. This is the metal finish, and this is in the one Barely branded. It's just a very like shimmery sort of gold color. I feel like this is very classic and goes very well with a red lip. Plus, not only that, if you don't have a stark white dress, because a lot of times when people are looking for that retro kind of look, usually isn't super, super white dress. It's usually is somewhere in that cream, has the vintage lace thing going on. So I thought that this would pair very well with it. So that's the reason behind that. Okay, so now that my face is kind of soaked in the product, and that's really important too, ladies or gentlemen. I always say ladies, men don't get offended if you are watching it. When you are using products to moisturize your face, you want to give your face a little bit of time to let things sink in. Normally, you're using your moisturizer like right when you wake up, you're brushing your teeth after you took a shower, so on and so forth. So you have a little bit more time to let it sink in. Then you can put your primers on. I didn't really give it a whole lot of time, but you definitely want to. Otherwise, stuff is just going to slide around your face. But for the sake of the video, that's what we're doing today. Okay, so for foundations today, I'm going to use my NARS Weightless Luminous Foundation. This is in the color Gobi. This is more of a yellow base. I think my perfect shade, honestly, would end up being Mont Blanc because NARS seems to run really, really golden yellow on their color. So even though this is technically where my undertones lie, I should be here, but this is so golden that it's almost too yellow. So what I end up having to do here, so I'll put a couple of drops. I'm using my little palette thing that I normally use. Oh, why does it keep doing that? You guys have been having issues with my foundations. They keep splattering all over the place, just so that they can get all over and then my boyfriend get mad at me and be like, you're making a mess. Anyways, I'm going to mix that with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the color 1C1. I'm using very minimal of this because I've noticed that this gives flashback. So keep that in mind. I absolutely love, love, love this foundation so much, but it gives really bad flashback. I'm sorry. You can do it. I'm almost out of it. I've been mixing it so much with other foundations because it's perfect, but it's just a little too pink. But everything else about it is absolutely gorgeous. So now it takes forever for me to mix it and stuff. And then to mix my foundations, because I hate getting my fingers all dirty, I've actually been using these broken up popsicle sticks. These ones happen to be left over from times that I've done waxing. So I just use them, whatever. And then whatever is just left on the popsicle stick, then I'll just kind of wipe it and then throw it away. Then she's all done. So to apply my foundation today, I'm going to be using my beauty blender. I know it's just beauty blender. I got it wet already, nice and fluffy, scrunchy. Sorry, this one's a little bit tore up. I'm about to throw this one away. It's off with a new one. I'm going to be doing a remake of a video that I did when I first started off, which was how to apply your makeup using a beauty blender, and I did my entire look using that. I'm going to redo it. So I'm trying to save my beauty blenders, the new ones, until that video so that I can have a nice fresh one for that video. And I really like doing that because I do my makeup pretty often using just my beauty blender, just because it's such an easy thing to do without having to use too many tools. So like the whole face, I'll just do the whole face with a beauty blender. Cream or not, don't matter. And then, so this is what I have going on here. Now, I noticed that I can see a little bit of pink still coming through here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and apply just a tiny bit more on those areas because I don't want to be able to see that. So then I'll just actually take my beauty blender and I'll pounce it on there. So this allows it to be able to have more coverage just in those spots. And of course on my nose as well. And I totally forgot to do the under eye concealer that I normally do. And the reason being is because I got really good sleep last night, so. So now that I look like a ghost and all sorts of pale out, that's done. Now I'm going to go on to my concealer. I am using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Chantilly. And I'm just doing that. Eyes. A little bit on the forehead. Just the slightest little bit here and here. Alright. Then I'm going to use my beauty blender again. I'm going to use the more of the pointed end here. I start with these areas because they have the least amount of product. Plus because with having the least amount of product, they dry out faster. So I want to be able to blend these out first. And plus, when you are doing your eyes, you build up more product on your blender. So I don't really want all that extra product to be moving around with the other places because I strategically put a little amount of that product on those for a reason. And the reason being, I don't need a whole lot. Okay, like that. See, and so now you're starting to notice some brightness coming in these points of the face, and now you're noticing there's a little more dimension to the face because okay. Then I'm going to move on to contouring with cream products. I love contouring with cream products. I've been absolutely obsessed with it. I can't stop doing it. I've been using this one just because it is so quick and convenient. And it was only $8. But I will say that, you know, I've heard nothing but amazing things from the Anastasia contour palettes. So that could be one that you could do. The cream contour, like I said, I'm obsessed with cream contour right now. I'm not even kidding. I'm going to blend it out using a buffing brush that I have from Real Techniques. What I do is I take some of my primer spray from Smashbox, my primer water, and I get the brush just a little bit damp because I don't like going over the gray because with dry because I feel like it kind of moves. It moves too much of everything. So I just want it to be a little bit damp to move this around. And then I'll start at the forehead actually. Just kind of, and you're buffing that back into the hairline. I don't like to put it too close to the hairline when I'm actually applying the product because I feel like when it's too close like that, then it just gets all too much in my hair. I don't like that. You always go with upward motions. Upward motions. And see, and now you're noticing that I have this harsh line here. Don't you even stress it because what I normally do, just to kind of blend out that line, is I'll go like this, just to kind of make sure that that line isn't too harsh. See what I'm saying? I always do that just because I want to make sure the contour is there, but ain't nobody got time to sit there and play around with that for 10 hours. Okay. So now that I'm done with all of that, now I'm able to go ahead and set my makeup. So what I'm actually going to use for my setting today for underneath the eyes is this little powder compact that I have from YSL. Where should I hold this? Like that. From YSL, it's the Pore Compact Radiance Enhancing Pressed Powder, and this is in the color, I believe, number 2, which is just a really light color. I'm going to go ahead and use, now normally I would probably just use my Beauty Blender. I'm going to go ahead and use a fluffy powder brush that I have here. This is what I like to use after I set. And so I'm just going to do that underneath the eyes here. And as you can see, I am putting that on my eyelids as well. I like doing this when I'm going to be using other products. It's kind of a prep for me for starting my eye looks. Even though I probably shouldn't because I'm using a cream product, so mistake. Learn from me. Okay. So all of the areas where the lightest places are, I went ahead and did that with the powder. And then I'm going to go in with my contour. Okay, so what I'm going to use for my contour today is actually my Chocolate Soleil powder from Too Faced. Sorry it's all dirty. I have had this one for a hot minute. This is actually a sample I got from Sephora when they had it as a point perk, and I just couldn't help myself. So normally I would, for the video's sake, I would just grab the light one to show you and then just go into this one anyways, but whatever. Anyways, if any of you guys see that Too Faced bronzer book, it's totally worth the investment. Basically, you get these sizes, maybe a little bit more, and then you get to try all of them that they have. So it's totally worth it. I would, if I didn't already have a whole bunch of these, I totally would get it just so that I could have the other ones too. For me personally, I have so many bronzers. I've had this one forever, and I'm just really digging into it now. I just finished my Tarte one in the Park Avenue Princess, the really glowy one, whatever. So I just not. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and go in with a angled kind of brush here, and this is one from Sephora. This is called an angled contour brush. And you're going to just lightly tap that here on the side. And I'm just going to go around the head here. And I'm just doing little tapping motions. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend. And again, we're noticing more and more shape to my face just by doing these things here. I'm just doing a little bit under here because, you know, get rid of that double chin. What? Okay. So now that that's done, we're going to kind of leave it be for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows, but I'm not going to film this for you guys because you guys don't care about any of that. So now that my brows are done, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the Benefit High Brow. I keep on trying to say gimme brow. And I'm just going to go in underneath my eyebrows here. And I'm going to be blending that out. But I just wanted something that before we really get started with the eye look, just to kind of highlight everything here. I'm trying to make it so you guys can see as best as possible, but also me be able to see in this crazy magnified mirror. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the balance. By the way, if you can hear the TV in the background, I am watching Django right now, and I just absolutely love this movie. I am a huge fan of Quentin Tarantino to begin with, and I didn't watch this movie to start off with, and I watched it with my boyfriend. I'm like, oh my god, I love this movie. And now I watch it all the time, and he's always like, wow, I didn't think that you would really like that movie this much. I'm like, oh my god, it's so awesome. But at the same time, I watch Kill Bill every single time that it's on. If it's on, I'm turning it on, especially the second one. I don't know why I like that one so much more, but I really, really do. Okay, so now that that is all done, now we really can start working on the eyes. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go in, let's see here, I'm going to go in with a stiffer brush. I have one from Real Techniques. It looks like this. It's really stiff and dense. And what I'm going to do is spray this with a little bit of my primer water so that it's just a little bit wet. And then I'm going to go in my little pot here. It's almost like a paint pot is what you can think of it, but less expensive. So I'm just going to place that on my eyelid. I'm just using swiper motion and really just blending that product out. And making that neat with the brow highlight that I have here. Now it's not going to show up super bright for you, and that's kind of what it's supposed to do, so no worries. A little bit more on the side, there we go. Okay, so that is what this one looks like here. So this just really primes the eyelids to get us ready for anything else that we're doing. And honestly, we're not really doing that much. The only thing that I'm doing is I'm adding a really nice kind of gold color. Now you don't have to use gold. You could use anything that you want. Like if you feel like this is too warm tone and you wanted to go with more of a silver tone, you could use something that has more of a silver base. I don't know if Revlon has them anymore. I think they're Revlon. They're these little like cream eyeshadow palettes. There's like 4 of them or something. And there was this one that had beautiful like silvered color. And you would use that and then put a kind of like a white frosty color on top of it. But you have to put something on top of those, otherwise they will be a creasy hot mess. It's so terrible. Okay, so then I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush. I'm going to use one like this here. It's just a fluffy brush. This is the one that I got in my Ipsy bag. It is from Luxie. It is number 205 taper blending brush. And I'm going to just put this in my Mary Luminizer powder. This is really golden shimmery. And I'm just going to place that all over the lid. Alright. Just like that. Nothing major. Nothing major. And then I'm going to go in with a sort of brown color, just something to create a shadow in the crease. It is not for anything other than that. That's all it is for. It's just to basically give shadows. Hey, oh, never mind, I could go there. Just kidding. I'm going to use the same brush. I went ahead and just wiped it off really good, and I'm going in with what I use the contour with. It's the Ultra Highbrow from Maybelline. This is just a beautiful color that is really, really neutral and matte, and I'm just going to go in to this with the crease. And see how that just gives it a shadow? So you actually look like you have dimension to your eyeballs. Okay, so just like that. Actually, I'm going to add just a little bit more on this side. So the last thing that I'm going to do for the eye look here is I'm going to go ahead and apply a brow highlight. I want to do something that is pretty matte because everything else is really glowy. And you'll notice that there's a pretty harsh line right here on both sides. I'm using this really stiff kind of blending brush here. And I'm going to go ahead and go in with a Sephora color. It's actually this color here. It's called Lazy Afternoon. It's just it's a cream white sort of color. And I'm going to use that as my brow highlight. And I'm just going to diffuse these edges so they're not so harsh. Just like that. Nothing more. I'm not doing anything else to the eyes except applying eyeliner, and that's going to be just a nice subtle wing. Nothing huge. It's not going out 10 years. It's just something subtle. If you feel like doing a crazy wing liner, then you do you. But I'm not doing anything super crazy. Okay. Alright, so I have to make sure that I can do this as best as possible. Okay, like this. Can I do this? Okay. So basically all I wanted to make sure to let you guys know, because I ended up just taking my voice out of this. It was a bunch of blah, 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 me just yapping about nothing. So essentially what I'm doing here is not necessarily a winged liner, but I'm just thickening up the edges and giving it that upward tilt, as you'll notice. And I'm, as you can see right there, I'm not really going far out. I'm just giving it a little bit to lift the eye. I just talk about it way too long for like 5 minutes. So I just decided to fast forward it so you guys don't have to listen to me just blah, blah, blah. And then I'll be in fast forward, which is super cool. That bitch is full. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do for the eyes, I'll take care of this in a minute. Don't even worry about it if it drives you crazy. Sorry, I don't really care. Okay, so I'm going to go in with actually a flesh toned eyeliner pencil, and I'm going to put this in the bottom waterline here. So I did go ahead and put it in the waterline. It's not really doing a whole lot, and that's totally okay. It's just meant to kind of open up the eyes a little bit. It's more for in-person photography anyways. So for mascara, I would say this is the time that you would use something waterproof. I don't actually own anything waterproof, so we're going to pretend the mascara that I do have is waterproof. I am using my MAC. The studio is called Super Black Lash. I don't know if it's waterproof. I really don't. I didn't read any information. I tried looking at it online, but it didn't say anything. I like this one because it's super lengthening and defining. It has a kind of a comb applicator. It has two little comb spaces instead of being the brush, and I really like it because it gets right down to the base and then adds tons of length and definition. So So for the lash, I'm just going to go into my Lorac Protocol palette here, and I'm just going to go in with the pink color here. I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques blush brush here. last but not least, to just kind of tie in the eyes with the rest of the face, I'm going to go ahead and apply a highlighter at the top of the cheekbones. And of course, it's going to be my luminizer on the balm. I kept trying to say weird things. Always use a fan brush just because I feel like it's really, really fine. And if you want to build up more, awesome. But then very rarely do I have the mistake of applying too much. Hold on, forehead. See the top of the nose here. There's that. So now we're going to go into the best part, which is the lips. Hot red is what it's called. Boom. This is the lip. I'm just kidding. I'm totally putting something on. That'd be crazy. Okay. So that was the lip liner. Apply it all over the lips. This is going to help ensure that everything stays really, really nice. Now we're going to go in with the Too Faced Melted Lipstick in the color Melted Ruby, sorry. The perfect lip brush. Okay, I'm going to use this little one here that I got from e.l.f. actually. It's just a little tiny guy. No big deal. Alright, I'm going to start by applying it in the middle, the bottom lip, and then working my way up. So this is the finished look for the lips here. Look. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.